What kind of office is best? US, UK, German, or maybe Saudi Arabian? I watched the first season of the Saudi Arabian Office. Ah! Damn it! Jim put my vlogging camera in Jello again. Michael! God damn it, Jim! The Saudis, they're just buying everything up. They're taking our Formula One and our golf and our offices. What's next? Are you gonna steal our dogs and sex positions? Like, God damn it.
Boo! Weird.
But I think the key is to just try not to duplicate what they're doing because it was so good and so definitive. There's no way it's going to be better than that, so it just has to be different.
And
أشوف إذا يبغون يوصلون شيء كيف ممكن يوصلونه.
type of.
And I'm boring myself talking about it.
Do you want me to tell him?
You don't know what it is.
He's in a box.
Damn, he's in a box.
So it just has to be different.
Oh, come on, it's not real.
So it just has to be different.
Iraqi's president!
It's called AI Maktab, and it's an A. They took the scripts for The Office, fed it into an AI, and said, make it Saudi. I'm sorry, what? Oh, it says Al Maktab. That's my bad. The point still stands. I do kind of feel like an AI could have maybe done this adaptation for them. Damn it, Jim, you got Jello all over my orb.
How do you know it was me?
It's always you.
Question.
What do they call Dunder Mifflin in Saudi Arabia? It's called tard, which I thought at first was like, you know, that was the joke.
هذا رأي متخلف.
Tard in Arabic just means package, but also it means like dismissal, like fired, I guess. So it's like a pun in Arabic. It's like, I guess, if it was about a canning company and it was called Canned. The Saudi office very closely follows the US office, not so much the UK. And then episodes are clearly like, oh, we'll do diversity day, but then they'll like tweak it. The physical space of the office is very, very similar up front. It's like, oh, they just modeled it exactly on like reception and the offices and the desks and all that. But there's no annex, and they don't like shove Toby and Kelly into a back room. So they're all kind of in there. But the break room / cafeteria is huge and has like windows, so that looks very different. Is there an Oscar character? Did they throw him off a roof? No, there's no stereotypical Mexican know-it-all character. Are the women all completely covered from like head to toe? A few. I think 2 characters are like totally covered except for the eye hole. What's that called? Is that a burqa? Hijab? Niqab? I don't know the proper term. Do you know the proper term? I think it's Phyllis, sort of, and then Meredith, maybe?
Hello. I am ashamed at your naked face. I must cover it with my jacket. You are now sexy in your culture.
A lot of the background-ish characters, I don't really know much about them still. And you go, I guess that's Stanley, he's black. Creed, I guess, he's a man sitting in that place. I think that's Creed, but I don't really know anything about him. I get Creed and Kevin mixed up because they look pretty similar. It's like Kevin's not fat enough and Creed's not old enough, so they're both kind of schlubby, olderish. Kevin has a pet turtle. Most of the female characters do show their faces. So Pam, Jan, who's a boss. I was wondering, would Jan be Jan? And it is, it's a lady Jan. So will Jan and Michael? Hasn't yet. They haven't yet gone and got baby back ribs, if you know what I'm saying.
And I feel God in this Chili's tonight.
But surprisingly, Angela face out. Because I guess it's like, if you want a character that's a lady to have like any kind of impact in a show that really relies a lot on like facial expressions, you kind of need to see their faces. And there is like a Dwight Angela thing. They're kind of flirty and we'll talk about it. She's the judgy one, face out.
Here, is this what you want?
And then there is a Kelly later seasons, because early season Kelly is kind of like frumpy. And how would you describe? I'm annoying my coworkers.
You gave your baby an allergic reaction just to talk to me?
There's an episode, the healthcare plan, right? And then it's like, Michael doesn't want to make the pick, so he gives it to Dwight to make the pick because he wants Dwight to be the bad guy, and then Dwight picks the worst healthcare plan possible, and then it's like, write it down or it won't be covered, and then they're gonna list off like hot dog fingers and hydrodentoplosion. They didn't have good fake diseases, though that might be a lost in translation thing.
لكن كيف تتعامل مع المرأة الموضوع يعني إيش يخصنا إحنا البنات. However,
Callie wants her cosmetic surgery covered, and then I'm like, wait, don't they have like universal healthcare? Do you know?
A lot of countries that have universal healthcare also have a private market that you can purchase above and beyond what's provided.
Stanley complains because they pick one and it covers his sons but not his daughters. And I was like, that's a thing you can have in a healthcare plan. Doesn't cover the girls.
Sounds like Saudi Arabia.
It does, doesn't it? You don't have like government healthcare? Research Saudi government healthcare for me.
No.
You think they're gonna do the whole like Dwight and Angela and Andy Cuck situation? I'm not sure, but it hasn't happened yet. There's no Andy character. I don't know if we're gonna get to like a merger. Is there a token black diabetic? Yes, there is a one token black dude that's clearly like, oh, it's Stanley, I guess. So far, I don't know a lot about him. I don't know his opinion on hentai. I did an AMA on Reddit.
I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
I watched the first season of The Saudi Office. Ask me anything.
You got Q's, I got A's.
Did you say you've got AIDS?
I made the comment like, I don't know a lot about him. I don't know his opinion on hentai. And this person was like, what the fuck? I just Googled hentai. Why'd you make me do that? Because they didn't understand the reference because it's in a deleted scene.
One last crossword together as brothers.
No. It's called hentai, and it's art.
What does Woody think about hentai?
He's just a baby.
What other questions were there in the AMA you did? Jim, you ignorant slut. Was Todd Packer's license plate well hung? And what did they translate it to? Is there a William Hung correspondent in Saudi? No, there's no Todd Packer. There is a call in the pilot where Michael is like, oh, he's saying something dirty about Jan and he has to like hang up, which is Packer. But I haven't seen Packer come back up again, so I don't know if there's any traveling salesman. I can say the characters do follow more closely to the US Office than they do in the Office parody, which I've seen. Check out, we watched it on my channel. The Office parody, they gender swap, so Michael becomes Michelle. Like, I don't know why he did that.
What is pornography to one person is Reader's Digest to another.
Toby here thinks that my lecture on sexual harassment was a little over the top because he wasn't invited.
Michelle, it was degrading.
The greatest.
Smile if you love men's prostates.
Aaron doesn't even like sex. Remember? You said it feels like getting tackled by a skeleton.
Character-wise, we got Michael, Jim, Pam, Dwight, Jan, Angela, Kevin, Stanley. All quite close, I thought. Michael, they made maybe too attractive. He's like maybe the hottest dude in the office. And that's, I don't know, maybe that's saying more about me and what I look for in a man. I don't know. Ryan, the intern, shows up in the pilot, right? His name in this is Ryan, R-A-Y-A-N, but they made him like a screech, like a wimpy scamp, a shrimp scampi. What do you got? Twerpy and not hottest in the office.
Bitch.
Oscar, Creed, Toby, there's like a person who sits in the right place, I guess. And like for Oscar, it's just, I don't know that he's gay. He could be gay. I just haven't learned a lot about him. He looks like a semi-fancy man, I guess.
What if Pam was a lesbian?
Saudi Amy Adams shows up.
والله ما أدري.
عادي أشمها.
Here's my question. You know that red and white checkerboard head covering thing that like Saudi men or like Yasser Arafat wears, right? I think it's called a kafia. Dwight wears one. Is that thing for Saudi dorks?
Aaron, scissor me, please.
So anyway, was Yasser Arafat an annoying dork? Woody's on a orb. Woody, you gotta learn that you walk reverse. You gotta walk backwards.
You think this is funny?
I don't.
Jeff Halpert here.
I have written down a few questions.
1, have you ever killed a woman? How many women have you killed? Please, sir, will you not kill me?
Here we go, episode 1. The very first thing we do is the scene where Saudi Michael, is misunderstanding the difference between canals and straits. And it's about like the Suez Canal, but then there's like some kind of shipping delay because of like pirates, and he's like, pirates, and he reaches for the phone like he's gonna do something about pirates. But that like goes away. Like that's the moment in the first season that is the most like Saudi specific. It's like we're talking about like maps of Saudi Arabia, and then after that, like that goes away. Like that is not a good representation of the show. Because for example, the rest of the first episode is basically the pilot of the US office.
بسمة المكان لا يغرك أول كانت أسنانها تقول صفة حيط.
إيش؟ What?
Any messages?
Yeah, just a fax.
Oh. Damn, this is from corporate.
I know.
How many times have I told you there's a special filing cabinet for things for head office?
تبلين هذا تشربين مويتها.
And then Jan shows up and is like, where's your agenda? And he's like, we didn't get a fax. And it's like, you made it into tea like that. It's like same moments. The stapler is not in Jello, it's in honey. Jar of honey. All right, we're really getting different.
الحين ما صار الدب صار الدبك.
إذا تشوف إن الإضرار بممتلكات الشركة شيء يضحك.
Roy shows up. Roy's a little different because like Jim's up at the desk talking to Pam, and Roy will show up and just be like, he didn't even have to say anything. He didn't have to be like, why are you talking to my lady? It's like, hey, you're near her and I don't approve of this and I might like stab you. Like it is an aggressive fucking Roy. I just realized after the fact that Roy, Pam's fiance, you know, is her brother and not her fiance. And I watched the whole first season and did not realize that. All the scenes are played the same. It was like Jim's up at reception, Roy comes in and just like gives him a fucking terrifying look. It's like, leave my sister alone, you know? And I think probably it said in the subtitles brother at some point, but I thought it was like, you know, like, hey, what's up, my brother? You know, I call him my brother. Technically, he's my cousin, far removed.
Speak.
The scenes are the same. Like, they didn't change the scenes. What's the will they won't they? She's not engaged. So this is just like a will they won't they based on like how much dowry he's gonna pay. Is that a thing they do in Saudi Arabia? Dowry still? I don't know.
أجندة أرسلتها لك اليوم الصبح.
ما وصلني شيء.
You put it in the garbage can that was a special filing cabinet.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Pilot episodes basically saying like, oh, there might be downsizing and which branch is going to absorb which branch, blah, blah, blah. Michael with Ryan fake fires Pam.
هذا يفسر بعض الأشياء ليش تختفي.
يعني تقصد إن أنا بسرق؟
عموما أنا راح أستغني عنك. أنا كنت أمزح ريان قول كنت أنا المقلب أنا سويت.
We totally got you.
You're a jerk.
I don't know about that.
I think it's a misstep to have them do the fake firing because the US office seems to think it was a misstep because pretty soon after like first season, they're like, we have to change Michael. We cannot make him this much of a dick. He would get fired. We're not going to be able to make 200 episodes of it. David Brent gets fired in the UK office. He gets fired pretty soon. So Michael, it's like, they needed to make him nicer, a little more heart.
Boobs.
I think it was Greg Daniels was like, we should add like 10% hope to every episode. Like a little more hope. The British cynicalness is a little much.
When did everyone get so cynical?
And they, I think, regretted having that fake firing because that's maybe the meanest Michael is, other than, I guess, stuff he does to Toby. But that's, you know, we're kind of, it's different.
No, God! No,
so I would say,
God,
like, if you're just remaking the US Office, get rid of the fake firing. That's too mean. So episode 2 in the US is Diversity Day, and there's this like diversity training, whatever, and then it's like, well, we have to get you to sign this thing saying we trained you in diversity, whatever, and it's a lot of race things, right? In this, it's about women in the workplace, and then it's revealed that it's something Michael did that's causing this, and we just need Michael's signature because he's the one who did the bad thing.
This is like HBO, no limits.
But in this, it's not some race jokes or whatever, it's the fake firing of Pam. So they're like connecting because in the pilot he fake fired Pam. Now we're gonna do women in the workplace training thing that then he tries to lead, you know. So they're kind of, you know, they're changing stuff and they're like making connections between episodes, I guess, to make things flow better. I don't know. Dwight and Michael do this thing where they're like overly correcting the like host teacher dude's grammar. This is some very pedantic grammar shit.
التحرش صح؟
لا لا ما هي متعات ما هي على نفس الوزن لازم تصير تحرش على وزن مفاعل.
That's what she said.
جمع تكسيري صح انتاءات جمع مؤنث سالم بس ما قلتها عشان ما اعطيهم جوهم ماني بقايل مؤنث نزلت لهم جمع تكسير روس والله.
It's kind of funny when they'll be like talking and it's all Arabic, and then like an English word or a cognate, I guess, slips through.
خلهم يفصلون أحاديين المهام هذول الموجودين. الحين زمن المالتي تاسك.
افهم يعني وش اللي يضحك.
انسايد جوك. بعدين ترى انت قطعتي.
لكن كيف تتعامل مع المرأة؟ الموضوع يعني ايش يخصنا احنا البنات. However,
here's a character trait we've added. Pam's really good at cooking. She and Jim will talk about it, and he's just like, "Oh, are you good at cooking?" And she's like bragging about it. And I was like, "Is this how we flirt in Saudi Arabia?" Women are like, "I'm a really good cook. Make me your cook slave."
اوكي طيب اذا قلت لك في طبخة واحدة ما حد ينافسك فيها ايش هتختارين؟
طبعا بشاميل. ما في احد يقدر ما في.
She brings cupcakes for the whole office. They look like cupcakes. And then it's vanilla for everyone except for Jim. He gets chocolate. And I thought that was a little bit of a metaphor. You guys know what I'm talking about? Jim gets chocolate.
ابغى الشوكولاتة.
انا جبت هذه لي.
طيب بس ليش ما جبتي قطعتين؟
كلهم فانيليا.
You guys know about the Missouri Compromise?
Shove it up my butt.
Damn it, Jim!
I'm gonna rate every episode on a scale from 1 to 11. The pilot, I'm gonna say, is like a 4. I thought it's fine, I guess. It's the pilot I've seen a million times. It's just like the UK Office pilot. All right. Episode 2, I'm gonna say I was a 5. I don't know. It was fine, I guess. I'm gonna stop rating them because I didn't write these down. Episode 3 is the healthcare one.
والفينير والليزك والتجميل. يعني لو لاحظت عندنا في الفرع يحتاجون تكميم يعني.
وتشوف الفئة الأرخص عندها وتوافق عليها وترسلها لي اليوم.
ايش دراك ان احنا حاطين امراض من روسنا؟
ها تلبك معنوي اثاليب في الكلى اسهال في الكبد عنقز مين في العمر يجي عنقز.
أنا اخترت التأمين المناسب لكل الموظفين.
من أنت؟ وش دخلك في موضوع التأمين؟
أنا نضال نائب مالك في فرع الجنوب. هو اليوم مشغول فأعطاني المهمة هذه.
إيش؟ اسمع. Please don't use my cell phone ever again.
Oh, this is your... I thought this was your...
And then Michael has the whole thing where he's like, oh, I'm going to give you guys a big surprise to lift everyone's mood. And then he comes back at the end of the day with just a bag of ice cream sandwiches. And they're like, is this the surprise? And he's like, no. And then he just like vamps, hoping he'll think of a surprise. Same exact bit, right? This is why in the credits, it'll be like written by BJ Novak. Episode 4 is The Alliance.
ودك نسوي تحالف.
شلون يعني تحالف؟
Absolutely, I do. They're trying to boost morale, so they're like, let's have a party. And they're like, well, we don't have any parties coming up. And like, is there in the U.S. office? They're like, whose birthday is next? Meredith's. Okay, and they throw her a surprise party like a month before her birthday. In this, and I thought this was a good change.
وداد اتطلقت. خلينا نسوي لها حفلة. حفلة طلاق. طيب الفكرة ترى لجنة انتي والبنت شو اسم البنت.
And then they do the same bit of like Michael wants an ice cream cake. And they're like, well, Meredith can't eat that. And it's like, yeah, well, everyone else can. So it's her party, but then there's the cake she can't eat.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
You ought to know.
أنا ولا أنت؟
انتي
أمانة.
ايوه.
بمناسبة إيش؟
ناسفة طلاقك.
Ooh.
They trick Dwight into trying to spy on somebody, and he hides himself in a box in the warehouse, and then he pokes holes in it. And it's the same bit there. There's a thing at the end of the episode where Dwight I think, has brown fingertips. He has like shit on his fingers, maybe literally. I don't know. And I didn't know what was going on there in the comments. What's on the fingers? What is this?
قال مالك بالحرف الواحد. It said specifically that.
تحالف ما ادري حاجه فيه وخبر عادة الهيكله ذا مو على رجال اذا ما اجيبه خلنا.
All right, episode 5. This is the one where we play basketball against the warehouse about who has to work on the weekend, you know, and then we play soccer in the warehouse. Ryan, who remember, very twerpy wimpy, is wearing a Chiefs shirt. We got a Chiefs sighting. I was like, this is great. Chiefs are like so fucking big now.
Dwight, I was open.
So then Michael does the whole thing where he's like calling fouls, you know, he's the ref. There's a bit where Michael has to shoot a free throw, you know, and he's like getting ready to throw it, and he's like throwing the ball, and then he like sets it down on the ground, and then he gets ready and he just throws a stupid air ball. He does that, but for like a penalty kick, basically. It's like the same bit. And then there's a bit where he's like trying to do a bunch of dribbling, and then I think Roy just steals the ball, goes and like gets a layup easy because he, you know, fast break, whatever. So we do the same bit here, but it's soccer. So like I think the final score is like 2-1. So like you just get it stolen and it's a free goal the other way. Is like the entire game swings on this one spot. He calls that, well, it's the second half now. We just switched sides. So after he's had it stolen from him and taken the other way for a goal, he's like, oh no, we switched sides. So you scored an own goal.
يا سلام. لا الجول فيك. هذا الشوط الثاني الجول فيك انت شوط نور.
Stanley just like puts the ball in his robe and just runs with it. That was interesting tactic.
سالم هنا امسكه يلا يا سالم ايش اللعب ذا ما يصير
مع ان حطينا فار على فكره حطينا فار
يا اخي طبيعي حارس شوف ما مسها شوف يا اخي جول 1-1.
Is that allowed in soccer? I don't know. So at one point, I think somebody scores a goal and then like prays. I think Michael gives him a red card because he's not praying towards Mecca correctly. I was like, all right, that's kind of funny. We've added some flavor.
انا اتوغل وانتم توصلوا لي
The original UK office was reacting to and satirizing the celebrity-obsessed culture of the 90s and early 2000s. We had all these reality shows, a lot of them of like regular people, and these regular people would get a chance at fame, and they would take all the fame they could possibly get. And people figured out, like, if I'm crazy, if I slip a nip, if I pull some bitch's hair,
Have you met Mr. Titty Twister?
Here he is. Yeah. God.
they're gonna put me on more things. I'll get in the tabloids. They'll put me on the next reality show. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Or like MILF Island or whatever. Did they really make MILF Island? Didn't they? Or what did they make?
Ours is a cultural ghetto. Wouldn't you agree?
MILF Manor is a show on Learning Channel. So Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant were kind of reacting to the way people were behaving weirdly on camera. Like they're aware of the cameras in these reality shows. And so David Brent is this like, oh, I'm gonna act crazy and hopefully I'll get discovered. I'll be a celebrity.
Go on, I've got stuff to do. I've got laughter. I've got money to raise.
That's not really present in the US office because it's like in the UK office, only 14 episodes. Pretty quickly, it was like, oh, that aired. He thinks everyone's gonna recognize him and like, oh, I'll sign an autograph for you. And they're like, are you famous?
You also turned down contestant number 2 from The Office. That is, of course, David Brent.
Hey.
Who the fuck's that?
Who are you? What have you been on before? Nothing, so don't...
And we see this in like season, I think it's 9 of The Office, the US office, where Andy Bernard is like trying to be famous. But like Andy Bernard is playing up for the cameras when he's trying out for fake American Idol.
And I'm just a kindly old fellow with a song in my heart.
No, you're a middle-aged man with a lot of makeup on.
Busted.
But he's not playing up for the cameras when he's just like in the office. You know what I'm saying?
I am now chopping off Phyllis's head with a chainsaw.
They kind of act like they're not on TV and this won't ever air. And like 200 episodes into filming, none of it's aired. And they're like, I don't know, we just get followed around by cameras all the time. So it's not really satirizing the same thing. Michael Scott is just like, thinks he's funny, thinks he's an improv comedian or something, you know, this is HBO, like, but they turn it into he just wants to be loved. It turns into this thing about like the Peter principle. Is it Peter or Peter's principle? I don't know. If I was smarter, I would know that. There's a thing in the US office where they're going to close Scranton and then consolidate into, I think, Stamford. And then the boss of Stamford leverages this into a job at Staples, I want to say. It's like, oh, okay, so we'll keep the Scranton branch and it saves Scranton. I think his name was Josh. He screws over like the whole branch just to get himself like a raise. Is what an asshole. And Michael like saves his branch and like, oh, we love Michael. And he really looks out for his coworkers, right? David Brent does the opposite. We'll close your branch, but give you a promotion, and completely screws over all the people, you know? So he doesn't see it as his family, you know? Like, he's much more of a jerk than Michael Scott.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Tim comes across more of like a high school bully bullying a nerdy kid.
You think you're so pretty? Well, you're not gonna be so pretty come prom time.
I started making a point about the Peter principle, and then I got distracted and I didn't make it because I'm incompetent at my job. The Peter principle is this 90s hot thing. It was Hawk 2 of the 90s.
Big Peter and his banana splitter.
If you work hard, you will get what's called a promotion. We don't have these anymore. This used to be a thing where hard work would mean you get promoted. And the lesson of the Peter principle is that that's actually bad, because if you get promoted, they're like, oh, you were good at this, do a different job. But eventually you just keep getting promoted, because that was the problem back then, was too many raises and stuff was bad. And so you would get promoted until you got to a job you were no longer good at, right? You're a good teacher, go be a principal. You're really good at sales, so now you're a manager and you don't do sales anymore, and these are different skills. On a long enough timeline, everyone is shit at their job. That's what Michael Scott is. He's a good salesman. We see repeatedly that he's a good salesman. He's just bad at managing.
But liquor! Our prices have never been lower! Stop it!
But I've since learned that this was not the concept. To me, this seemed like the premise of the show. It's like, this is an examination of the Peter principle, because I'm a comedy writer, and that's the way I think. What's your job, Woody? You got a good job? We'll get your Peter on a camera. That's what we need right now. That's your job. Remember to lick our muffins, hit the Dinder, and that it makes our subs cry, because we're bad at aftercare. Whoa. Here's just one moment I really liked. I think Kevin corollary in the UK office, they're doing like interview self-evaluations. Under weaknesses, he put eczema.
You ever notice you can only ooze two things? Sexuality and pus. Man, I tell you.
Ricky Gervais, before The Office, was a pop music person who he looked like David Bowie. And it just reminds me of like Creed being in the Grassroots. And go listen to that. Live for Today by the Grassroots. Creed Bratton in there. I've had that song stuck in my head for like a week. Oh man, this guy.
Chasing after money and dreams that can't come true. I'm glad that we are different. We've better things to do.
I want to just like go with him in a van and drive around in the 60s and have sex in a van. Jim, you ignorant slut. After 10 years, you settle down and you buy a house for $9,000 and then you become a fascist boomer. I mean, that was the American dream, wasn't it?
You'll be my loving woman. I'll be your loving man.
Being able to go see like Deep Purple for $4 a ticket, and then you just drive around California dodging serial killers. They had a lot of those back then, but there's no DNA. So like, if you want to be a serial killer, now's the time.
Why are you the way that you are?
Find out what language this is.
All right, episode 6, it's Hot Girl. Saudi Amy Adams comes to sell purses. So you got your Arabic credits, and then written by Mindy Kaling. So she sets up, Michael's trying to impress her, you know, there's the whole coffee thing. He tries to bond with her about coffee because he has nothing else to talk to her about. All the men are like, ooh, hot girl, let's all hit on her. Saudi Dwight says something about like he values how she has white skin. I was like, okay, that's interesting. We finally meet Toby. I don't know if we met Toby before this, but HR Toby and he's divorced. He's not even part of his family. So Malik, buys jewelry for her. He sneaks it into the purse that Dwight buys. Dwight, not knowing it's in there, gives the purse as a gift to Angela after he gets shot down by the hot girl. So now that's like kicking off the Dwight Angela thing.
من الخرج اللي جبتوه.
شوفي معاي موسم التزاوج حق نضال.
Oh my god يا طلال.
حصريا على ناشونال طرد جرافيك.
طيب شو عندك بعد الدوام؟
بليز أخوي لو سمحت تفضل برا.
So in the US office, Michael's like, oh, I'll give you a ride. So he spends the whole rest of the day perseverating about the fact that he's giving her a ride at the end of the day and he thinks that's his in.
How many filet-o-fishes did you eat? That's over several months, Ryan.
Jim gives her a ride and it's useless. He sends Ryan, the twerpy temp, to go rent a car just to give her a ride.
لا أنا أيوه تمام. سعد الهام دقيقة. مو ليش أقول لك ليه ما ترجع السيارة؟
بس ليش تبي ترجع السيارة كويسة؟
خلاص كنسل الموعد، انشغلت وعندي موضوع ثاني، خلاص قلت لك رجعها. مأمن عليها ولا لا؟ أنت قلت لا تأمن عليها.
He says he's polyamorous, Michael does. So episode 7 is one where they're doing like photos in the office. Michael wants to spend a lot of money on it. Jan is just like, just take boring photos like with a phone. Dwight thinks he's a pro photographer. He knows all the settings on a camera and all that kind of shit. So Jim takes a picture of Dwight like on his phone and he uses an app to like turn it into like a sticker or something. And he sends that to everyone in the office. And so then everybody laughs. Okay. So Michael sees everyone laughed at this embarrassing photo of Dwight.
والله إني داري إنك بزح. ما ضحك.
إيه ستيكر.
كيف سويتها؟
هذا ابلكيشن.
Going around like trying to take pictures of people that might be embarrassing. And it's like pictures of butts, you know? And so he's doing that and like has Jim come in and like, instead of work, here, come teach me how to use an app. And he doesn't know how to use apps. So it's like, this is like pretty original-ish. I think this is based on the like email forwards. He's the king of the email forwards and like what's a funny random link to send people. Like this is the modern updated version of that. So anyway, Michael's trying to sticker everybody and he takes a photo of one of the veiled ladies and does a sticker something embarrassing with it. And then the ladies are like, wait, which one of us is that? They can't tell them apart.
ابغى يلف في الجروبات عرفت ويرجع يجيني واسوي نفسي اني ما ادري اليوم رهيب الانستغرام ولا لا. شفت المحتوى صدق.
دي ولازم انت وطلال تكونوا موجودين لان الصوره اللي سويتها للنضال وصلت للاداره.
والله انت جريمه قتل متعه مو.
They say something about like taking a photo like this is illegal. They say it's a 3 million rial fine. All right, what's this law? Anybody know? Write in the comments.
يا أخي أعطينا تاريخ الجريمة، أعطينا عن أول حالة صارت في السوق، يعني رغبني قبل لا ترهبني.
ممكن جولات صامت؟ تركزوا معاي شوي بكز سوا.
هذه أنت ولا أنا؟ هذه أي واحدة فينا؟
لا هذه عبير.
في فيش مفصول.
And then so Michael's like, it's fine, like no one should be offended, it's just in good fun. And so here, you guys sticker me and I'll do a bunch of weird poses and you can get embarrassing photos of me. And I think he does like a Nazi salute, so that's interesting. He does a big butt pose or a Hitler salute, that's what I wrote down. So that was episode 7, here's episode 8.
وش الموضوع؟ الموضوع؟
You needed me to come in early for? The sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. But thank you. And why don't you just take a couple hours, office is yours, home alone.
مصلى بس لين ما يبدأ الدوام. تبي شيء؟
تمام. صحيك؟ لا. أنت منبه. توضى قبل تخش المصلى.
Office Olympics, right? So this is Michael is going to like close on a condo. So he's out of the office with Dwight. The rest of the crew is all like trying to waste time. They invent all these sports and they have, you know, the Olympics. The payoff of that is the closing ceremony because he closed on his condo and it's closing ceremony. All right. Well, in this, he doesn't close on the condo. They like kick him out because he and Dwight are doing some like, you know, Dwight's like inspecting things and it's like, oh, this is soundproofing and he's terrible. And it's the like owner of the like condo place comes in and is like, what the fuck are you guys doing? They're like screaming.
شو الازعاج؟ لا يعني كنا نجرب
على مكان محترم وناس محترمه
واحنا محترمين ان شاء الله يعني.
على عيني بس وش الاصوات؟
مع السلامه.
الله يستر عليك.
والله شرايين.
معلش
بس اخذ بس
معلش
Wait, what I want to buy now? After like I'll play hard to get on the like purchase or whatever.
الالعاب الاولمبوطراديه.
Angela is taking like creep videos of all the people doing all their fun games to like prove they weren't working. Also, I noticed whenever people are like taking a video of something surreptitious, their phone like flashlight comes on. I was like, does everybody in Saudi Arabia leave the flashlight on if you're taking a video? The light comes on. Like, what are we doing?
قوم شل الكراسي رجعوها مكانها. مالك!
These are the closing ceremonies. Step up.
It just has to be different.
بس هذه.
خذ الفضية.
والفضية برضه.
All right, so episode 9. This one I feel like is pretty different. I don't know what the correlation is. The ladies have some sort of calendar, something on the calendar. They're tracking something. What might ladies be tracking on a calendar? The men notice this. I think it's either Malik, Michael, or Dwight. The two of them think that like the women are doing some sort of training. Like there's maybe a misunderstanding of what was in the calendar. It's like, oh, they're doing some training. So the men need to do a training. Turns out, what were the women tracking on the calendar, right? You get it.
Boom!
كبير. في الدورات الشهرية؟
لا. تدريبية طبعا يعني.
I noticed I wrote 13 minutes in that Jim does the Jim face thing, and I was like, he hasn't really done a lot of Jim face. They haven't really done that very much. Dwight goes around with Michael's cologne, spraying it all over the office as like spreading a scent. So that's weird. But there's a confrontation where Michael confronts the ladies about the calendar, and he's like, I know everything that happens in my office. And they're like, this is such an invasion of privacy. And he's like, I know about everything.
ليش ذا؟ نفسي افهم.
معلش بس هذا من وين جبته؟
مو شغلك. اعرف كل شيء في المكتب. خلنا من وراه نشخمط، نحط لنا تقويم نشخمط عليه ونخبيه.
مالك لو سمحت اللي قاعد تقوله مرة غير لائق.
لائق. لائق ولا مو بلائق، اي شيء يصير في المكتب لازم اعرف عنه. انت الشهر الجاي يحق لك دورتين من عندي.
دورتين؟
كيف؟ تستاهل. شكله للحين ما يعرف.
والله اني يستحق هاجل على شغل السنه كله. هذا انسان يا اخي، انت انسان غير قابل للتطور اصلا. ما عندك ادنى مقومات التطور. حرها.
And when we get mad, you always ask us if we're on our periods.
I have to know whether you're serious or not.
I wish I could menstruate.
That's what she said.
If I could menstruate, I wouldn't have to deal with idiotic calendars anymore. I'd just be able to count down from my previous cycle. Plus, I'd be more in tune with the moon and the tides.
All right, episode 10, the last one I watched. There are 10 more. There's a season 2. I've not watched it yet. If you guys like this shit, me wearing ladies' clothes, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of me wearing women European cut.
And that was an improv.
All right, so episode 10, this is the season finale. This is taking from the US episode where Dwight does the fire drill. It takes that and turns it into a full episode. Now, if you'll remember in that episode, I think it's called Stress Relief. And I don't think that comes to like season 5. Okay, so we're really mixing up the timeline here.
Last week I gave a fire safety talk and nobody paid any attention. It's my own fault for using PowerPoint. PowerPoint is boring.
It's like we've taken that idea and expanded it to the whole episode. Here, Dwight tries to give a presentation. No one's paying attention and everyone's making fun of him. He tries to do this to spread awareness and no one pays attention. And so, like, fed up with that, he does the fire drill. I don't know if that's a good choice. It's kind of like a less is more thing. You hint at it and then you move on. And like, do we really need to see that?
هذا الساندويتش اللي كان في الميكرويف.
بس ما هو ذاك الزود يعني.
الديناصور معك.
ما حتنحط في متحف، غالبا تصير نفط فادي الأحمر إيش؟
أنا عندي عمى ألوان.
تخافون قرضون.
انت صراصير انت اجراءات سلامه.
بس لو في شباشب وقت الصراصير كان انقرضهم بعد.
دايم اجتماعات اجراءات السلامه ذا شيء ممل يعني انا من زمان اكره اللي روح ارسلهم ايميل.
Michael ends the fire safety meeting because Dwight ruined his joke. So then Dwight lashes out, gets his blowtorch.
Does anyone smell anything smoky?
ماجد هذا بخورك؟
Oh, fire! Oh my goodness! What's the procedure?
حاول مقابض حاول. لا تنحل كثير يا ودي يا الله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله يا الله. النبال حارة. النبال حارة. تدافع في الإيميل. إجراءات السلامة في الإيميل. السلامة في الإيميل. وسعوا سندوق.
لا تخاف لا تخاف يا زلمة.
يا جماعة واحد اثنين. إذا أنا ما عشت يا أخي أورجانيك تلفزيون. هذا مو حريق صدقي.
من جدك؟
حريق والله مو حقيقي، هذا تدريب. والله إنه أحسن كورس يجيكم.
سالم
أي فكرة جديدة منبوذة في الأول.
البوتكس حق الرجال يعني في فترة ما مين يسوي بوتكس الحين صار ترند.
That's 10 episodes of the Saudi office. What should I put in Jello? What would you put in Jello? In the comments. And shove it up your butt. So if you like this and you want to watch me watch more Office, I got a lot of choices. There's a Brazilian, there's Le Job and Le Bureau, and you're like, why are there two different French offices? Well, because France and French Canada can't just watch the same one. There's German.
However.
Oh, they made a French one. Okay, and then they made a German one. You go to the German one, and it was like, no, they just ripped it off completely. And then after the fact, we're like gonna get sued and whatever. And then they're like, special thanks to Ricky Gervais and to Merchant. There's an Israeli office. There's an Indian office. There's a Brazilian. We all need a little Brazilian in us, right? I think the latest one, other than the Saudi one, is the Australian office.
Alligators and dingo babies.
Now, I watched just the pilot of the Australian office, because for most of these, the pilots are all the same, right? And I'm probably going to insert a montage here of the Jello prank in every fucking country.
That's what she said.
يا الله مرة ما حمل من طلالي.
أنا أتوغل وأنتوا توصلوا لي.
That's what she said.
So I turned on the Australian office, and the pilot, it's set after like COVID. Hey, Michael Scott, we want to shut down the physical office and let everyone work from home. Imagine Michael Scott being told, yeah, we don't need anybody in the office. You can just monitor them by email and Zoom meetings. He's gonna fucking hate that. Seems like they've actually done some adaptation there. Interesting. That's a thought. Adapting stuff. Wow. So overall, what did I think of the Saudi office? It's kind of like listening to a cover band do tweaked versions of songs you really like.
Do I have to go to the meeting?
Because you're really just spending most of the time going like, well, they changed this and they changed that. It's not a real like immersive way of experiencing something, you know?
Oh, have I shown you pictures of my new cats?
I think impressions are dumb, and I don't like them.
That color makes you look whorish.
Could you be any more? No, that's Chandler.
It's an experience that really just draws your attention to the artifice of it, to its creation, to the choices that they were making and what to adapt, what to keep, how to change something or other.
So it just has to be different.
I'm clearly not the target audience of Saudis who have never seen the US office, so it's kind of hard for me to judge it. I don't know the context of what's going on in Saudi TV, and I probably don't get all these cultural references or their puns, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm a white man, so it's time to judge it. So, fun, interesting tidbit you maybe didn't know. I'm not Saudi.
Idiot.
You've got this wacky boss character that you tune in every week to see what shenanigans he can get up to, but you stay for the grounded, realistic love story, right? Okay, niche. And there's something like more cinematic about the Jim, Pam, Tim, Dawn
three-way.
You have to remember how TV comedies worked.
Comedy?
So think about the sitcoms of the time, right? Sexy People in New York, a man who has to decide, should I date Jennifer Aniston or Courtney Cox? You know, oh, it's a tough choice. There's wacky sidekicks, and you know, they say one-liners and then wait for 4 seconds as the audience applauds. Sitcoms are very theatrical, you know, it's like big personalities up on a stage with an audience. It's big and loud and wordy and And you go from that to a show that lives in the pauses. It's the way someone says a line, but then their eyes would get shifty. It's about body language.
Just gonna walk over here. Whoa, I'm slipping and falling. I'm stumbling. I need something to grab onto.
Hey, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Yes.
Jim and Pam aren't an iconic will they, won't they storyline because they were the first to do it. It's just maybe the first that was like really realistically done. It's not a rom-com, it's not a soap opera. There's no big soundtrack scoring this moment. And that realism is this like breath of fresh air in contrast to the artifice of the shows we had at the time, something like Friends or that 80s show or How I F***ed Your Mother. So what made it good was that it was different. But now 20 years have gone by and now you're making a new version that's in that same style, in the same way, using some of the same scripts. You've just swapped out some of the geography and some local flavor. So it's probably not going to smell that fresh.
But it smells like throw up in here.
Crazy world, a lot of smells.
Maybe they just got Saudi friends. So then combine that with the choice they make to turn Roy into Pam's brother, and you're like, all right, so you don't have the will they, won't they? It seemed to me like that storyline was there. They were gonna do a will they, won't they, and I thought that was her fiance, and we never just didn't get any development of the fiance, the like how long until the wedding or all that kind of storyline. If they're just like great friends, what's keeping them apart if she's not engaged? Has the US office aged well? I mean, I think maybe it's aged about as well as Pam's ticking time bags. Here's a thought. In the US office, there's a Christmas where Phyllis is Santa, so Michael tries to one-up her and he comes dressed into the office as Jesus. You think they'll do that version in the Saudi office?
He can heal leopards.
Michael.
I'm Jesus, David, and you know why? Because Phyllis, a woman, has usurped my role as Santa.
Going to hell, Stanley.
Amen. It's fabric. I really wanted this.
That's fantastic. You can make another dress that goes past your feet.
In doing research, I'm seeing a lot of comments and people making jokes about, you know, oh, in the Saudi office, they throw Oscar off the roof. You know, who's getting chopped into pieces and things like that.
Aaron, scissor me, please.
No, don't.
Thank you. Oh, got it.
Critiques of Saudi culture, let's put it generously. And I kind of want to push back because, you know, actors, maybe not the most in line with what the government says. And I haven't researched the actors and the people who created the show. But I would just say, like, I'm in America, and somebody might go, oh, you know, this person making things in America, he must believe what the fascists in charge say, right? That doesn't make sense. It's kind of like hating on Elton John because you don't like what Margaret Thatcher's doing. You guys all get that reference, right, kids? Let me update it for you. It's kind of like hating on Billie Eilish's music just because you can't do the scarn. But overall, what did I think of it on a score from 1 to 11? Negative 11. I don't know. It's fine, I guess. I just have a note that says, hit Jacob with my car. Could be fun. There's a line in the US office where they say information is power. And they've redone it for the Saudi office where they say information is the new oil.
The professors would go to the parties?
Yeah, they were the most fun.
So that didn't White has.